Now I want to jump right in to the new weight loss series. To say I'm super excited about this is putting it mildly. It is the most unique program you've ever taken. The reason I say that, this is the newest research. It was done by Scripps Breakthrough Research that they did with rats. So I'm just going to ask you guys for the next half hour to be here, okay? Really say it to yourself, be here, okay? Because what I'm about to tell you, it's groundbreaking. And it proves that not only cravings, addiction, and this is addiction, by the way, that they did with the rats, okay? Here's what they did. They took the rats and they gave them bacon, sausage, chocolate, or cheesecake. And those little rats could have as much as they wanted 24/7, okay? So they actually found that the rats that had those, they're called high sugar, high fat foods, they actually became dependent, neurochemically dependent in a very short time. They got obese and they got obsessed with the food. That was the actual words they used. The little rats got obsessed with the food. They then took another group of rats and gave them the same bacon, sausage, cheesecake, and chocolate, but they were only allowed an hour a day. These rats did not gain weight, they did not become obsessed, and they ate and let it go and that sort of thing. So what they found is that the rats that were on the high fat and the high sugar foods, they were so addicted. Think about this, you guys, is they actually gave them then healthy rat chow, it's called. And the rats that were addicted almost starved to death before they would eat the healthy food. They almost starved to death. So then they decided to see what would happen if they gave the rats, they could have the food, but they had to go through a shock treatment, really a painful shock treatment. Guess what? Those little rats did it, okay? They said, go ahead, give me the shock treatment as long as I get my chocolate, okay? They actually were that driven. So it proved that they were addicted. They went and then checked the brains, okay, of the rats, okay, to see the difference. And the rats that had free access to any food they wanted, and it was all high fat and high sugar, they actually found that those brains were as addicted. In fact, one study proved it was more addicted than crack cocaine or heroin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a study where they took these rats and they gave them crack cocaine and heroin. And when they checked the dopamine and serotonin, the food rats had more damage to the brain than cocaine and heroin. Okay, that is a wow. Okay, to think that food could do that more than crack cocaine, that's a wow. Okay, so why does it do it? Why is it that you start the diet, you've got all the best intentions in the world, you've written down your rules to the game, and bang, within no time you're off it? Well, we used to think it was psychological, right? You know, it was, I had a bad day, all of that. That happens after. The physical addiction happens first. It's physically because your brain is not producing the right serotonin and dopamine, okay? So They took the rats, we're back to the rat thing again, and the ones that I told you, they had them doing the crack and the heroin. They took them off of it to see how long it took for the brain to turn to normal. It took 2 full days for the dopamine and the serotonin to get back to normal. They took those obese little rats that were eating the bacon and cheesecake and chocolate. They took them off it. This is a 2 full weeks for the dopamine and the serotonin to go back to normal. I mean, that is a wow. Okay. It took 2 full weeks for the food rats to go back to normal. And it took those little cocaine people and the little rats that were not people, but the little rats that had that, they actually only took 2 days. So that's how much food can hook people. Okay. That to me said it all. So we used to think that if you're not changing your eating habits, or you lose that motivation, right? You start it and you're doing really good and then bang, oh, why did I do this again? It's not a matter of willpower. It's not, okay, the rats, take this for instance, okay, you guys, think about it. The rats that were having the bacon and the cheesecake and that, if it was to do with emotional issues, let's say their father was an alcoholic and they used to get beaten, or their mother was a prostitute, okay? These little rats didn't have that, okay? So you couldn't say it was to do with psychological issues. I'm just joking, you guys, but I'm just trying to say the rats, why did they go to the food and even endure shock treatment? The brain was saying, feed me. So that is why you will go, and it's not, you're not eating, I'm sure, bacon and cheeseburger, but it might be you OD on chocolate, or it could be peanut butter, right? It could be cheese and crackers. We all have our thing that we tend to go to. So it's called the craving. So why does that craving hit me, Cathi? And I can't seem to stop it. Yes, Sharon, great question. Coffee, same effect. Okay, same effect. Okay, that's a great question. By the way, I know I talk a lot and I'm going to but I love it. Okay, coffee is definitely addictive. Okay, definitely. Right, Brenda? So I know, shoot, damn. Okay, but here's the interesting thing. There is a way to just be friends, okay? This is the good news. So how do we get to just be friends with food, okay? And I remember one time I was talking to you, Brenda, and I said to you, there will be a day, okay? For me, it was chips, okay? If there was chips in that house, I was like, I could find it no matter what. I would tell my husband to hide them, and I would find them, eat them, and then go and have to put the chips back. Okay, anything you guys have done, I've done and worse. I was one of the most addictive people I've ever seen, okay? So there will be a time that we can take that addiction and have it so that, you're not. How do we do it? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. How we do it is we have to start our body to make more dopamine and serotonin, okay? I'm going to give you an example. Dopamine is, you've all heard this, I'm sure, when you're first in love, right? Like go back to when you're first in love, it's like he or she could do anything. You couldn't get them out of your brain. That's all you thought about. It's a drug. Okay, dopamine is as strong to the body as a drug, okay? People who really need dopamine, you'll hear about them, they do the bungee jumping, or they're race car drivers, okay? Gamblers, Gamblers, their dopamine, okay, but what comes up must come down. What else gives you dopamine? Food. Okay, so that's why you're almost feeling like you're driven. I met this guy one time, and he was a heroin addict. I didn't know it the first time I met him. Okay, I mean it. Like, he was high rise, very successful. Okay, Beverly Hills, the whole story. Okay, my first husband introduced me to him, and I'll never forget it. He comes to the door and he goes, "Hey, you guys, get in here. Come on, get over here." And I'm thinking, this guy is the most friendliest guy, okay, because I'd never seen anybody jacked up on cocaine. I just was like, oh, what are you going to show me? And then he was getting more racy and more racy. So anyways, I met him a couple of days later. This guy is the quietest guy. He's like a little mouse. He's like internal galore, okay? And I'm like, I said to Patrick, is that the same guy I met? He goes, oh yeah, he was all on cocaine. And that's a dopamine, okay? So dopamine is that, oh my God, I'm gonna do this. Dopamine, we love dopamine, all of us, okay? There isn't anybody who doesn't love dopamine, okay? But you don't want that jazzed up, because then what goes up must come down. And they've proven that if you get a bunch of dopamine, which is what happens, by the way, when you go to the food, okay? What happens is when you crash, you feel lower, you feel really burnt out and almost depressed, and you're mad at yourself, and you're pissed off, okay? In a nutshell. And of course, that will then cause you to go to the food more. But it was a physical thing first, then it became that, I've done webinars on the habit, and it is true, okay? But the habit didn't happen first. It was the physical, okay? So it was the physical food that then caused the habit. So what causes that crash? Why can't we just keep that dopamine? Okay, well, you've heard of the people who are, what are they? They're like, Evel Knievel. Evel Knievel, dopamine galore. Okay, there's a perfect example, but he was never satisfied. Gamblers, okay, you hear of them, and have you ever heard of the gambler who totally went to Gamblers Anonymous? He got counseling, he got off it, and then 3 years later, he goes nuts, and he loses his home. He has to get a divorce. Well, the wife got the divorce. I mean it, okay? What happened? He got that craving, okay? And that dopamine had to be surged up again. And once it starts, no man will stop. When I used to have a craving, didn't matter what you did. I was driven, okay? So we want dopamine, but we don't want it to surge like that. Why? Because at the beginning, I was saying to you guys, it actually affects your brain. They've proven the hypothalamus shrinks. The brain becomes smaller for people who are overweight. Think about this, you guys. They did a study. It was science. It was from Science. That's the laboratory. And they gave overweight people chocolate milkshake. I know, Brenda and Barb, you wish you were in on this study. Anyways, they gave slim people chocolate milkshakes, okay? The slim people, after the chocolate milkshake, was more than happy. The overweight people, they were told, you can have as much as you want or as little as you want. The overweight people all went for more. And here's why. When they went under an MRI to scan the brain, the overweight people don't produce as much dopamine as the natural slim person. Isn't that interesting? So that's why, have you heard of the stories of people who are well, gambling? I mean, I just can't believe people would lose their home, lose their loved ones. It makes you just go, what? It's because of dopamine, okay? Yes, there's no shutting off. Once it starts, There's no stopping it. That's a great, I'll be writing that one down, okay? Because that is true, Sharon, okay? Once the dopamine surges, watch out, okay? But there is a way of making friends with food. Okay, so we got it about the dopamine, okay, I think, okay? And I will take questions after. But once you've done this over and over again, okay, like, you know, went for the cheese and crackers, or you went for the cookies, or you went for pizza, or whatever it is the neurons that produce the dopamine actually got damaged. So it's not your fault. Like when you go, oh, I just don't have the willpower. Like it's not about willpower. It's actually physically proven that the brain was damaged. And you need that extra, let's say it's cheeseburgers, okay? You know, half a cheeseburger for some people is fine. Other person, they need at least 1 cheeseburger to 2, sometimes 3. The ice cream, okay? Oh, I could have a little bit at the beginning. Now I need more and more and more, or even yogurt, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like you just need more and more and more, because the dopamine is not being produced in your brain like it used to be. So there is a physical reason, okay? So what we want is we want dopamine. Dopamine is good, okay? We want dopamine, but we want it to be balanced. What else do we want? Because if it's not balanced, it shrinks our brain. It actually physically, and they've proven even overweight people, okay, have a shrunken brain. And of course, the bigger you are, the more the hypothalamus is damaged, okay? There's one other thing that we really want. And what that is we want serotonin. Okay, so we want dopamine and we want serotonin. So dopamine gives us the energy. Okay, dopamine is, we hear this, we go, bang, I'm ready, let's jump in. We're all motivated. If you've given up on yourself, nothing's going to work. I'm so fat, I've tried everything. Low dopamine. Okay, so if you're hearing this right now and you're going, bing, 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 this is making sense to me, good dopamine, okay? And I'm not just saying that. Do you know they've proven people who are in groups for weight releasing do better, and I don't care what group it is, they do better than other people who aren't in groups and they're doing it on their own. Why? Dopamine. The dopamine just gets surging, okay? And it just feeds your brain, and your brain goes, I'm happy. I don't need the cheese and crackers. I don't need the peanut butter, okay? So we also want serotonin. So dopamine gives you the motivation, that gung-ho, I'm going to do this. As God is my witness, it's going to work this time. It's so different than I've ever done before. This makes sense, okay? What's the other substance we want in our brain? Serotonin. So serotonin is the feel good, okay? Serotonin makes us feel calm. People who are really anxious, the worriers, I always say, where are my worriers? Put up your hands. I know Brenda, Barb, one of you is. You've told me before, okay? You worry, you just, yeah, okay. And there's more of you on the phone, okay, on the webinar, and your brain can't stop that worrying, okay? And you just go like, oh my God, it affects your sleep, it affects your moods, okay? All of that has to do with serotonin. So serotonin is, we want serotonin. It makes us feel peaceful, yet calm and positive about ourselves. I'm going to say that one more time. Serotonin makes us feel calm, positive about ourselves, and confident. They've even proven people who have more self-esteem, better confidence, they've got more serotonin. They just naturally do. So when you're anxious, when you're pessimistic, when you have low self-esteem, or you're somebody who, oh my God, I can't get it out of my brain at night, I'm just worrying, serotonin real low. Okay, so we want to increase the serotonin. So serotonin is why you go to chips, bread, pasta, rice, cereal, all of those foods, high serotonin. It just gives you that. Okay, I used to see myself go and I'd be like in a food coma after. Okay, because I got so much serotonin. If you get too much, it actually makes you crash again. Okay, and again, what comes up must come down, and you're just not optimistic about the future. Yes, it's carbs. God, I wish the rest of you guys could type. But I'm going to open up the mic anyways, okay? Because I know you're used to talking. But you go from, you know, I'm so fat, no one's going to love me, to, you know what? I've got so much to offer, and I could meet my right mate, or it doesn't really matter. I'm happy anyways. I'm just happy. And you just find you're whistling more, you singing in the shower, you know what I'm saying? You're just more up. Okay, that is, but in a very calm way, not in a dopamine. You know, dopamine is you're on the roller coaster, woo, you know, and you're high, but you get off it and you're still good. And if you have too much dopamine, you crash. So serotonin is the same way. So we don't want to be worried, okay? We don't want to be fatalist, okay? People who, I'm never going to lose this weight. Oh my God, I've tried everything, nothing works. That's low serotonin and dopamine, okay? So what is the key here? The key is to raise the dopamine and serotonin, okay? That's the key. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. And some of your questions might be to do with what I'm about to show you. But before I do that, I just want to ask you guys, you can open up your, you can open up, I don't know why that's up there. Okay, so you can open up if you want to ask me some questions before I'm good. And I am going to show you the solution to this, okay? But could anybody relate to low motivation, or not worrying a lot, or you just find that you don't have that get up and go? Like, does anybody want to share with me what they're feeling? You do have to put your, do I have to put the you guys have it, right?
Cathi?
Yes.
This is Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I sure can.
I guess for myself, I have worked on that all my life. But you had always said to do that in the mirror and like yourself. That works a lot.
Yes.
Like that really is a good start to doing that every day and trying to increase your self-awareness or liking yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's a positive thing that I work on all the time.
And that's great. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have given tips before. Okay. It's just most people, Brenda, don't do it. Okay. So Cindy could relate to the low dopamine. Yeah. The low dopamine is the, dopamine is so important because dopamine gives us that motivation. It gives us that get up and go. And you've seen people who are into the race car racing or bungee jumping. They need it. They just need, that's their surge. And we tend to go to food because dopamine is also in food. It's your ice cream, peanut butter, cheese, too much yogurt, okay? All of those, yes, dairy products produce dopamine. And so that's why we go to that. And serotonin is the pizza, the carbs, the, you know, pasta, bread, okay? So what I have researched, but first of all, thank you, big hugs. Okay. I love you and Brenda and Barb. I just love you guys. You're so open. Does anybody else want to express anything they've been feeling or anything that comes up for them? And thank you, Cindy and Sharon for, you know, typing in. But I just, and I'm going to answer your question that will help with that. Okay. Just a little later. But I just wanted to open it up in case, Linda, you had something you wanted to express, or Brenda or Archie.
Oh, not really. I think the news this day, I try not to watch it anymore, but that's seems to be getting everybody down. I mean, the state of the world and the protests and everything that's going on, you know, it's
What she
all
just
over the
said
world.
there is so true. Okay. And yeah, Sharon, I can only imagine having brain injuries. Of course, that will affect you. But even like Linda said, you know, and think about the news. People tend to start their day with it and end their day. Okay. The subconscious mind is most open first thing in the morning and last thing at night. I used to work at a behavior modification program. We had a stop smoking program, okay? And we used all to do with the subconscious mind. So when you're watching the news, stop it, okay? Stop it, okay? Because it does affect you. If you're watching, like my brother, I know I told you guys in the last class, he gained about 20 pounds. Want to know what he was watching? The cooking shows. Okay, stop it. Okay, you know, stop it. Because again, it's like Linda says, it just produces that, you know, you start to salivate, like the body instantly, you know, thinks of that recipe. Or if you're listening to news, I mean, goodness gracious, we're compassionate people. So you get down and stop it, you know, like, I mean, give yourself, I was addicted at the beginning and now maybe I'll do 5 minutes a day. So yeah, the Food Necker would love me. So anyways, so we want to feed ourselves what is going to help our serotonin and dopamine, which is going to take me right to what I'm offering you guys. I am so excited about this. So I'm going to go right in and show you how this program is totally different than anything you've ever done with me in the past. Okay. Okay, let's make the big one. Okay, stop. Okay, that was the round one. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a 5-week webinar, not a 4-week, which I know Brenda and Barb and somebody else, I can't remember who, was on the 4-week. We do need 5 weeks, okay? If any of you can't make it, don't worry about it. It's all recorded and sent to you. Here's week 2. We're going to get right into building up the serotonin and dopamine. So I just kind of go through, do you feel anxious, pessimistic, or just worry a lot? Well, usually what's happening there is and this isn't everybody, okay? I'm just trying to give you sort of a round look at it. Usually you are low in serotonin and you're going to crave your sugars, your pasta, your pizza, or your chocolate. You are craving serotonin. That's what you're really hungry for. You want to be more peaceful, more positive about yourself. And this is there, and I'm just a second, I'm just getting ahead of myself. So you want to be more positive and you want to be calmer in a very good way. Okay, now maybe you're not that, but you're blue a lot or you're bored. Life is just the same old, and you just feel bored. It's just, you know, I can't see my friends as much as I would, or I just got too much weight, whatever your problem is, okay? And by the way, natural slim people too can feel bored in that. But people with a weight problem, they will normally crave, like Cindy said, the ice cream, the peanut butter, the burgers, or the fries. And you're starving for dopamine. What you really want is more fun in your life, more energy, more excitement. Okay. And what you're going to learn in week 2 is you're going to learn different food combinations that give you that serotonin and dopamine. Okay. So you're going to learn that. You're also going to learn remedies that work for overeating or binge eating, because again, that is usually to do with, not usually, it's always to do with the serotonin and the dopamine. You're going to have a new attitude. You're just going to find that your heart sings. So for the first 2 weeks of the program, if it's peanut butter, or if it's ice cream, or if it's whatever, bread and peanut butter and jam, you don't stop that. Whatever you're craving, yes, you heard me right. Carry on for 2 weeks. But you're going to be eating these foods and you get a nice list, okay? So it's not like, I only have a few choices. But what we have to do is think of the serotonin and dopamine like a bank. Our brain right now, it's low. So we got to build up that reserve, okay? So I don't want you to stop it, because do you know what they say? The average person stays on a diet. The average person stays on a diet for 48 hours. That's the average. And then you're off it again. So you do really good one day, and the next day it's like, oh, I could eat everything. It's serotonin and dopamine. So carry on, but you're going to start eating these other foods. You're going to get a recipe, okay? Very easy to make. I'm even going to give you a choice of 2 different ones, okay? Because I realize that some of you are on the road, but this one recipe, think about this. The healthier the gut, remember the brain? The brain and the gut is, Chinese philosophy tells you the gut is the second brain. That's what they call it, okay? So what do we got to do for that gut? We got to rebuild the gut. That's what this recipe does. It reduces inflammation. You're going to notice a difference in your energy. Even people who are natural slim, I would tell them to do this, because it's going to get rid of aches and pains. Okay. It nourishes your immune system and even helps your skin and heals your brain. So that's all in week 2. By the way, we're going to start that next week. Okay. Normally my calls are every 2 weeks, as you guys know. Okay. I want to get you on this right away. Okay. So we're going to start next Thursday. Then from then on in, it's every 2 weeks. Okay. This one is probably my second favorite week. Why? It's all about how to boost your happiness. They've proven that people who are happy live at least 5 to 10 years longer. It affects your brain. It builds up your serotonin and dopamine. And you're just going to find you're whistling when you shouldn't be whistling. You're going to be singing in the shower. Okay. And I'm going to be showing you what I call happiness boosters. And you're going to notice the addiction starts to subside. Why? Because you're working from the outside in. You're actually going to be feeding your heart, soul, and body with many different, and you're going to get a whole choice of all different things to do. Okay. So, because I know some people won't be like Brenda and do the mirror one. So I'm going to give them something totally different. You know what I'm saying? It's all about choices. Okay, even the very first week, remember that recipe I told you about? I'm going to give you 2 different choices. That's my shtick, okay? I want to give you different choices. Okay, this is week 4. And what it is all about foods that have been clinically proven. They did a Denmark study, And they found that people who ate these foods in particular, it doubled their fat loss, doubled their fat loss. And by the way, they had the other group on the same amount of calories, but when they ate these foods, instead of losing 1 pound, they lost 2 pounds a week. An English study proved that if you ate 11 pounds of this food, in 12 days, 10 pounds were gone. 12 days, 10 pounds gone. It reduced their cholesterol by 25% in 10 days. There is no drug out there I know of that could do that. It's in your grocery store, okay? And they released 10 pounds of fat without counting calories or fat. But they had to eat these foods. They're delicious, by the way. A French study proved that this food satisfies your appetite 40 minutes longer than any other food. So now what we're going to do is, I call it kryptonite foods, okay? So if it is, let's say, I don't know, I love ice cream. What I'm going to show you is another healthy food that you can swap, but still have that cold, treat. Okay, so I'm calling it swapping. Okay, so I'm going to give you a list of all the biggest cravings, people who like carbs, what to go to that will still satisfy you. Okay, so it's called the swap week. Okay, so you're going to learn all about those foods. This is my favorite week. It's week 5, because week 5, there's nothing like it. I've never seen another program that will even touch this week. It's the power of thoughts. Think about this, you guys. A new study proved that we have over 6,200 thoughts a day. Over that. 80% of them are negative. And this is even with positive people. 95, here's the kicker, here's the, at least I think, 95% are exactly the same repetitive thoughts as the day before. You think you'd learn? No. We're going to keep this movie just going. Okay. And that's why you wake up at 3 in the morning or 4 and it's just okay. I am going to show you how to stop that. Okay. That is my favorite thing, you guys. I really mean it, because this is going to help you in everything in life. So you're going to get effortless ways to turn it off. Okay, because I was a real worrier. Okay, my mom was like that, and then I took the baton. Okay, I was like, okay, mom, I'll keep it up for you, and it is ridiculous, but we do take roles like that, and it will make you live 5 to 10 years less if you're a worrier. So give it up. Okay. And you're going to find 4 different ways to create a resilient mind, they call it. So this week is going to be amazing, because you're going to learn all the different ways. And that not only affects your body, it'll affect your self-esteem. It'll affect other habits you might have that are not, supportive habits. So this week I'm really looking forward to. So the 5 weeks are normally $197, and for the next 48 hours it's $97. It was actually supposed to be 24 hours, because I always say, if you're going to do it, as soon as we hang up here, you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you say, I'm going to think about it, oh my God, I forgot, do it for yourself, if this makes sense. Okay. And the first 5 people to register get a free one-on-one session with me. So that I would love. Okay. So all you do is you just enter the code weight loss at the checkout. Weight loss. If you have a problem, Linda, anybody, just give me a ring. Okay. I love talking. Okay. So anybody who has a problem, just give me a ring. Okay. And here's my promise to you. At the end of the first week, you aren't satisfied for whatever reason. I've been doing this for over 20 years. Okay. I have never, ever had anybody who didn't get their money's worth and more. Okay. You're not happy with it, get your money back. I can't give any more of a guarantee than that, because I know you are going to love it. There is no doubt in my mind. No doubt. Okay. So just put weight loss at the checkout. So I'm going to open up if anybody has a question. No such thing as a silly question. I'll go to the chat just in case I didn't see something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I did see all of them. I used to not be able to see it until afterwards, and then I would forget. Okay. Thank God for sharing. So, but I'm like you guys too. I got to take it in, so I can relate. But you can open up your mic if you do have a question you want to ask me.
What, Cathi?
Mhm.
What was the code for the face band?
Oh boy, I think it was FL bands. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Did anybody write it down?
FL bands.
I wrote it down, but I don't know if it were big letters or little bit letters. I just heard you say it and I was writing it down, yeah.
Was I right? Is it FL bands?
That's
Yes.
right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Cathi, where do you find them on your website or yeah, the bands?
Yeah, I just want to double check. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a little B, right? Okay.
Yeah, big capital FL and then bands, BANDS. Okay. Oh, you guys, speaking of oops. Okay. I am so super excited. I'm doing a new website. The website is all done, but we're having problems with the WooCommerce, okay? So when people go and order something online, it's not going through to WooCommerce. So we still have to fix up that glitch, okay? And you're gonna see on the new website, a video and everything, but that's why I had Tanya show up, okay? I mean, look at her skin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, I don't want to toot my own horn, but look at my skin. Okay. Like, and I'm 20 years older than her. So I can tell you guys, you will love the bands. Okay. But as we're releasing weight, I've had some women tell me, Cathi, I don't even want to lose weight because I don't want the turkey neck. Yeah. So, if you don't have a bad forehead, if you really want like extra for the forehead one, yeah, take it and put it around here instead. Okay. And then keep that one, and then you can always use it for here. Okay. So, but just doing it the way she does it will still help you. But I had really bad. Okay. And so that's what I did is I took it and I put it like that. So to answer your question, we're still working on the ironing it out. And somebody told me there's a way to then, and we're going to let you know, guys, when it's all done. Okay. But I don't want that to stop you. Just right now, go to the old site. Okay. And just put in those FL bands and the weight loss. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you guys for showing up. I really appreciate it. And I love what I do. And I know there was a reason why I was 326. And I truly mean this. I know it was to help others. And I know that might sound corny, but I love the webinars. I don't like them. I love them, And when I get new research, I'm just so excited to share it with you guys. I really believe from my heart, it will help you, not just with weight, but in everything in your life. When you find you're just whistling or you're singing in the shower, that's a good day. Okay. So guys, I want to give you a big hug and just thank you for taking this time. And we will be sending the recording out. But those of you who want to jump in right now, I look forward to doing the coaching with you and just helping you every way I can. Okay, so I'm sending you all my best and big hugs, and stop watching the news.
Yeah. Can I just ask you something, Kathy? You know, the bands, are they 97 for separate, each one? Like, is that how that works?
No. The great question. No, it's that's the price of the two bands.
Okay, I didn't know. You're saying you could use one. Yeah. Okay, all right then. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, but
thank you.
I was just saying, Linda, the ones for the forehead, you know how she showed you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can put it around like this. Okay.
Okay. All right
Yeah,
then. Thanks.
yeah.
Thank
So
you.
just, you know.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm like
Great.
you, I need one here.
Normally, Sharon asked another question. You guys should give Sharon, you know, a little flowers or something, because the girl is like, it's like I've got somebody there just asking all the right questions. Okay, big hugs to you. Sharon, they normally last about 4 months, okay? And then it's sort of like, you know, jeans, after a while, the bands will go. They're washable, and I wash mine about every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, okay? Just in cool water and a little bit of, I've got like some Zero, but you can use, if you got those balls, you can use anything on them, okay? And then they dry in no time. Okay, they whip away moisture. Okay, I swear to God, I feel better when I sleep with the bands than when I don't. You know, it's just like you feel like you're in a little cocoon. So yeah, so and give us a very short time and we will have the video up on the site and everything that she was talking about. But you do get directions, but really it's Velcro. You go slip, 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 slip. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty easy. Even the one side says, put this against your skin. So, you know, it's really easy. So
you put moisturizer on underneath. It's okay to put, you know.
Absolutely. No, you should. Yeah, put your moisturizer on. And most of you have the OxyLift, okay? I use the OxyLift for a couple of minutes. I put my bands on. Bang, I'm done. Okay. And the bands take, you saw how quick, it takes seconds, okay? Okay, thank you guys. Great questions, great call.
Kathy, what was the code for the weight loss coaching?
Okay, anybody write it down?
Weight loss.
I just wrote weight loss down. I don't know.
Yeah, just weight loss, right?
Yeah, weight loss.
I tried that. It must be one word.
WEIGHTLOSS. Yeah, it's one word, weight loss.
Okay.
Yeah, and put a capital. And Brenda, if you have any problem, just give me a shout, okay?
Yeah, because it's not taking it. It keeps trying to space it, and then it says it doesn't exist.
Wow. Okay, so give me a call.
That's why I always phone you up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, don't use that, Linda. Don't make me go over there, my mother would say, if I wouldn't. Don't make me go over there.
I'm awful.
So yeah, don't worry about it, you guys. Any problems you have, just give me a call, okay?
Okay, third time it worked.
Thank you.
Oh, who told us that? Oh, Brenda. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, third time lucky. I went through 3 husbands, and the third one it did work. So,
Good.
you guys, you've been a delight. We're going to have so much fun. Imagine having fun and releasing weight. Okay, and that's what I guarantee to you. So I take care, big hugs, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 12 o'clock. Then we're going to do them every second week, okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye, you guys. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Cindy, Jules, Karen, everybody. I really appreciate you.
Bye, Kathy.
Bye.
Bye, Brenda.
Bye.
Bye, Barb.